The wind that morning carried the scent of dust and heartbreak. Out on the open range, where silence had learned to speak louder than words, a girl stood before the man she had once loved from afar. Her hands trembled, her eyes wet, but her voice, though breaking, still carried courage. "Please, just one chance," she whispered. "That's all I'm asking for." The rancher didn't speak. His weathered hat shaded a face carved by years of sun and loss. He'd seen storms tear fences, and he'd seen people tear promises. Both left the same kind of ruin behind. Her name was Ella Grayson, a simple, honest soul who had lost everything when her father's death swallowed their farm, and now she stood before Luke Tanner, the man whose land stretched farther than her dreams, asking not for mercy but for a chance to prove herself. Luke looked at her boots, worn, dust-stained, and cracked at the sole. He'd seen pride in men's eyes before, but what he saw in hers wasn't pride. It was pain, the kind that begs not for pity but for purpose. "Why here, Ella?" he finally asked, his deep voice cutting through the silence. "You could have gone anywhere." "Because this land," she paused, glancing across the golden field behind him, "this land feels like home, and I'll work harder than anyone if you just let me stay." Luke turned away, jaw tightening. He'd once believed in second chances, until life taught him that people often use them to hurt you twice. But something in her tone, that trembling yet determined voice, clawed at the walls he'd built around his heart. "You don't even know how to handle ranch work," he said flatly. "I'll learn," she replied without blinking. "You teach me once and I won't forget." He exhaled slowly. "You'll regret this." She smiled faintly through her tears. "Maybe, but I'd regret it more if I walked away." For a long moment, neither spoke. The wind brushed past like a ghost of what might have been. Luke finally turned his horse toward the barn. "Be here at sunrise. No excuses. One mistake, and you're gone." Her lips parted, disbelief mixing with hope. "So that means—" "It means you got your chance," he said, riding off without looking back. As his figure disappeared into the fading light, Ella dropped to her knees, her tears mixing with the dry dust of the earth. For the first time in years, she prayed, not for miracles but for strength. That night, under the quiet stars, she lay awake in the small cabin Luke had allowed her to stay in. Every creak of the windmill outside whispered a promise to her heart. Don't give up now, because sometimes the smallest chance is all a broken soul needs to change everything. And far away, Luke Tanner stood by the corral fence staring toward her cabin. He didn't know why he'd said yes. Maybe it was pity. Maybe it was curiosity, or maybe it was something he didn't want to name. But one thing was certain. Her words kept echoing in his mind. "Please, just one chance." And somehow, he feared that chance might change him too.